Imagine a creature that must literally dissolve its entire body into a supercells just to survive. A creature that tastes with its feet, sees colors we can't even imagine, and navigates across continents using a biological GPS older than humanity. You think you know the butterfly? You don't. You've only seen the mask. Today, we unmask the most resilient survivor on Earth. This is not a fairy tale. This is a metamorphosis rebellion. It starts with a gluttonous monster, a crawling stomach with 16 legs. The caterpillar isn't just eating, it's gathering the raw energy required for a biological miracle. But as it grows, it feels the walls closing in. Its own skin becomes a prison. Inside the silk tomb, something terrifying happens. The caterpillar doesn't just grow wings. It releases enzymes that digest its own muscles, its own gut, and its own heart. It becomes a biological soup. If you were to open a chrysalis halfway through, there's no insect inside, only a thick, nutrient-rich liquid. But within this liquid, imaginal discs survive. These are tiny clusters of cells that hold the blueprint of the future. They are the architects rebuilding a masterpiece from the wreckage of the past. But once the liquid solidifies and the wings unfold, the struggle doesn't end. In fact, the most dangerous part of the journey is just beginning. Because to survive the next phase, the butterfly must master a sense that no human possesses. Now, let's address the greatest scientific mystery of the 21st century. When a caterpillar dissolves into liquid, does its mind survive? Does the butterfly remember being a worm? For decades, we thought the answer was no. We believed the brain was wiped clean. But researchers at Georgetown University proved us wrong. They trained caterpillars to hate the smell of ethyl acetate by giving them mild electric shocks. Then, those caterpillars went through the liquid death. When they emerged as butterflies, they still avoided that specific smell. The memory survived the meltdown. This means that inside that delicate head is a hard drive that can withstand the total deconstruction of the body. The butterfly carries the trauma and the lessons of its past life into the sky. It is a reincarnation in the most literal sense. It remembers the bird that tried to eat it and the plants that tasted sweet. It is a veteran of a war it fought in a different body. Imagine walking into a kitchen and knowing if the food is poisoned just by stepping on the floor. That is a daily reality of a butterfly. Their feet are equipped with chemoreceptors, biological sensors that are 200 times more sensitive than a human tongue. Why? Because for a butterfly, choosing the wrong leaf to lay eggs on is a death sentence for the next generation. They don't just land on a flower, they interrogate it. The moment their tarsal claws touch a petal, a chemical signal flashes to their brain. Is there nectar? Is there toxins? Is this a safe harbor? They are walking laboratories, analyzing the molecular structure of the world with every step. While we humans need machines to detect pesticides, the butterfly simply walks across a leaf and knows the truth. The human eye is a primitive tool compared to what a butterfly possesses. We see a visible spectrum, a narrow band of colors, but the butterfly sees the ultraviolet UV world. To us, a yellow flower is just a yellow flower. But to a butterfly, that same flower is a neon target. It has landing strips visible only in UV light that guide the butterfly to the nectar. It's like a pilot landing on an illuminated runway in the middle of a pitch-black night. Furthermore, they have compound eyes made of thousands of tiny lenses called armatidia. This gives them a 360-degree view of their environment. They can see movement so fast that a human hand trying to catch them looks like it's moving in slow motion. You cannot sneak up on a god. They see the flick of a bird wing before the bird even decides to strike. Look close at the wings. They aren't painted with pigments like a canvas. They are engineered with photonic crystals. The blue morph for a butterfly isn't actually blue. If you ground up its wings into a powder, the powder would be brown. The blue we see is a structural color. The scales are shaped like microscopic Christmas trees that reflect only the blue wavelength of light. It is an optical illusion created by nanoengineering. These wings are also superhydrophobic. Water cannot stick to them. If a raindrop hits a butterfly, it doesn't soak them. It shatters into 1,000 pieces and rolls off, taking dirt and bacteria with it. It is a self-cleaning, light-bending, aerodynamic marvel that humans are currently trying to copy to build better solar panels and stealth technology. But having the eyes of a god and the feet of a chemist isn't enough to survive. In the wild, everyone wants to eat the masterpiece. To survive the next 24 hours, the butterfly must become a master of deception. It must learn to lie. Next time, we enter the world of psychological warfare. We will see how a tiny insect can grow owl eyes on its wings to terrify predators, and how some butterflies become so toxic that a single bite can stop a bird's heart. The beauty is a trap. The grace is a weapon. The butterfly is now fully formed. Its wings are dry, its senses are online, and it is ready to conquer the sky. But there is a terrifying reality. To a bird, a lizard, or a spider, this biological masterpiece is nothing more than a high-protein snack. It has no teeth, no claws, and no armor. In a world of monsters, the butterfly should be extinct. But it isn't. Why? Because a butterfly has mastered the most powerful weapon in existence, the art of deception. It doesn't fight with muscles, it fights with the predator's own mind. Imagine you are a small bird. You see a tasty butterfly resting on a leaf. You dive in for the kill. Suddenly, the butterfly flickers its wings, and two massive, glowing owl eyes stare back at you from the darkness. You freeze. In that split second of terror, you flee. This is an owl butterfly strategy. They have evolved autonomy and mimicry to a level of psychological genius. Those aren't just patterns. They are high-definition replicas of a predator's worst nightmare. The butterfly uses startle display to trigger an ancient, hardwired fear response in the bird's brain. It's a bluff, a lie. But in the wild, a successful lie is better than a sharp claw. But what if the predator isn't scared? That's where the monarch enters the battlefield. The monarch butterfly is a living vial of poison. As a caterpillar, it specifically eats milkweed, a plant so toxic it can stop a human heart. The butterfly stores the cardiac glycosides in its own wings and body. It doesn't hide. In fact, it wears bright orange and black, the international warning colors of nature antisemitism. It's telling the world, eat me, and it will be your last meal. A bird that eats one monarch will suffer violent vomiting and heart palpitations. That bird will never touch an orange butterfly again. The monarch has turned its own body into a biological weapon, sacrificing a few to protect the millions. On the opposite side of the spectrum is a Calima inachus, the dead leaf butterfly. This is the stealth bomber of the insect world. When its wings are open, it's a burst of brilliant colors. But the moment it senses danger, it closes them and disappears. The underside of its wings is an exact, microscopic replica of a dry, decaying leaf, complete with midribs, veins, and even fungal spots and wormholes. It doesn't just look like a leaf. It is a leaf to any eye that scans a forest. It utilizes disruptive coloration to break its own silhouette. You could be looking directly at it from 2 inches away and see nothing but dead foliage. It is the ultimate ghost. Then there's the Greta Otto, the glass-winged butterfly. While others use colors to hide or warn, the glass-wing uses nothingness. Its wings are transparent. It doesn't reflect light. It lets light pass through. Scientists discovered that the wing tissue is covered in nanopillars arranged randomly, which prevents glare. Even in direct sunlight, the wings don't flash. It's a cloaking device that makes a butterfly nearly impossible to track in flight. It is a flying piece of glass, navigating through a world of shadows. It has evolved to be ignored, and in the wild, being ignored is the ultimate survival. But survival is only the first step. The butterfly's true mission isn't just to stay alive, it's to travel across the planet. In the next part, we witness the impossible. A creature that weighs less than a paperclip will undertake a 3,000-mile journey across oceans and mountains. How does a brain the size of a pinhead navigate using the sun and the Earth's magnetic field? Next time, we go inside the Great Migration. The rebellion goes global. As the days grow shorter and the air in Canada and the northern United States turns cold, a biological alarm clock goes off inside the monarch butterfly. This isn't just a flight, it's a desperate race for survival. But here's the catch. The butterfly starting this journey has never been to the destination. It is a 3,000-mile trek to a specific cluster of oyamel fir trees in the mountains of Mexico. It's like a human being asked to walk from New York to Los Angeles without a map, a phone, or a single person to give them directions. This is a great migration, and it defies every law of biology we know. Most butterflies live for only 2 to 6 weeks. But the ones born in late summer are different. Scientists call them the Methuselah generation. These are the Spartans of the butterfly world. Through a mysterious hormonal shift, Their aging process literally stops. They don't waste energy on reproduction. They channel every calorie into flight muscles and fat storage. Instead of weeks, they live for 8 or 9 months. They are built for one thing and one thing only, to endure the impossible. They are the marathon runners of the sky, carrying the future of their entire species on their orange and black wings. How does a brain the size of a grain of rice navigate across a continent? The butterfly uses a time-compensated sun compass. Their antennae aren't just for smelling. They are high-precision clocks that track the sun's position. But even when it's cloudy, they aren't lost. Deep inside their eyes and brain, they have a magnetic compass. Some scientists believe they utilize quantum entanglement, the same physics Einstein called spooky action at a distance, to literally see the Earth's magnetic field lines. They are flying with an internal GPS that is more sophisticated than the one in your smartphone. They follow a highway in the sky that was laid down millions of years before humans invented the wheel. The journey is a gauntlet of death. They must fly over the Great Lakes, cross the scorching plains of Texas, and survive the unpredictable storms of the Gulf. They fly at altitudes of up to 10,000 feet, hitching rides on thermal air currents to save energy. Imagine a creature that weighs less than a gram, battling 30-mile-per-hour winds and freezing rain. They are tiny orange specks against a massive, uncaring sky. Thousands die along the way, eaten by birds, smashed by cars, or drowned in the rain. But the rebellion continues. They don't stop because they can't. The genetic memory pushing them forward is stronger than the fear of death. Finally, after 2 months of flying, the survivors reach the volcanic mountains of Michoacan, Mexico. Here, millions of butterflies congregate in a few acres of forest. They huddle together on the trees so thickly that the branches bend under their weight. In the silence of these mountains, you can hear the sound of millions of wings, a soft, paper-like rustle that sounds like the breath of the earth itself. They have arrived. They will sleep here in a state of diapause, waiting for the spring. They are the winners of the greatest endurance race on the planet. But the story doesn't end in Mexico. The most beautiful part of the rebellion is its ending, the legacy. As the sun warms the forest in March, the survivors will head back north. But they won't make it all the way. They will lay their eggs and die, passing the torch to a generation that has never seen the sky. In the final part, we witness the circle of legacy. We'll see how the rebellion continues through the bloodline, and why the survival of this tiny creature is the key to our own future. This is a final stand. The great migration we saw in Part 4 is a miracle, but here's the most insane part. The butterfly that arrives in Mexico is the great-great-grandchild of the one that left the previous year. How does a creature that has never seen a place, never been taught a route, and has no parents to guide it, know exactly which tree to land on? This isn't just biology, it's genetic memory at a quantum level. Imagine being born in a room and instinctively knowing the street map of a city 3,000 miles away. The map is written into their DNA. Each generation is a runner in a global relay race, passing a torch of information that is millions of years old. They aren't just flying. They are executing a biological code that is more complex than the software in a SpaceX rocket. As the Mexican sun warms the Oyamel fir trees in March, the Methuselah generation, the super butterflies, begin to stay. They have lived for 9 months, surviving frost, predators, and exhaustion. Now, their mission changes. The biological pause button is released. They become frantic. They mate. They begin their flight north, and then they die. But their death is not a defeat. It's a calculated handoff. They lay eggs on the first milkweed plants they find in Texas or the southern U.S. Those eggs hatch into the first generation of the new year. This new generation will only live for 4 weeks. They will fly a few hundred miles north, lay eggs, and die. Then the second generation does the same. It takes 4 distinct generations to complete the journey back to Canada. The butterfly you see in your garden in July is a descendant of the hero that survived the Mexican winter. They are a single soul living through thousands of different bodies. Why does this rebellion matter to you? Because a butterfly is a silent architect of our world. They are the secondary pollinators that keep our wildflowers and crops alive. Without them, the food web collapses. In the United States, we are losing 1 million acres of butterfly habitat every single year to urban sprawl and pesticides. We are breaking the biological highway they have used for millennia. When we kill the milkweed, we aren't just killing a weed. We are deleting the refueling stations of the greatest travelers on Earth. The butterfly is a canary in the coal mine. Their disappearance is a warning that our own ecosystem is fracturing. If the most resilient survivor on Earth can't make it, what chance do we have? There is a reason humans have been obsessed with butterflies for 50,000 years. In ancient Greek, the word for butterfly is psyche, which also means soul. We see ourselves in them. The caterpillar is our struggle, the chrysalis is our quiet growth, and the butterfly is our ultimate potential. They teach us that transformation is painful, but it is necessary. They teach us that beauty is a weapon of survival. And most importantly, they teach us that even something that weighs less than a gram can change the face of a continent. They are the ultimate underdogs of the natural world. The story of the butterfly is not a story of fragility. It is a story of defiance. Defiance against death, defiance against distance, and defiance against the impossible. They have survived ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and the rise and fall of civilizations. But now, they face their greatest challenge, us. The rebellion isn't over. It's happening right now in your backyard, in the fields of the Midwest and the mountains of Mexico. The question is, will you stand by and watch the masterpiece fade? Or will you join the legacy? In a world that's getting louder, the butterfly remains a silent masterpiece. Don't let the silence win. Stay connected with Wild Legacy for more untold stories of the wild.